everyone! So after being really desperate to see Crimson Peak for quite a few weeks, I finally got the chance to see it, and now that I've sat down to talk about it, I don't really know what to think, because on the one hand, it was really good, it had some really good points to it, but on the other hand, it wasn't as good as what I thought. So let's start with the good things. The story itself is alright. It's about a young girl who finds herself in a difficult situation and she ends up marrying this man, and she goes to live with him in this house, and he is with his sister. And there the house starts to give her the creeps and scare her a little bit, and it harks back to something that happened in her childhood. Not a completely unique story, it's quite a conventional setup there. So in a way, if you like that kind of thing, you know what to expect. So that's okay, but having said that, there are actually crossovers which I personally don't feel work, which I will talk about in a moment. Plot, fine. Characters are great. I loved our protagonist. She is a writer. She writes a ghost story, and she says something in the beginning which is ghosts are a metaphor. She's talking about her writing, but it's almost as if that's being shoved in her face immediately to say the ghosts in this film are metaphorical, which I guess as you read into it, it is pretty much the case. So yeah, that's kind of in your face, kind of this is what this film is about, at least as far as I could read the film. So it's alright, the plot is fine, the characters are interesting, a little bit cliche in their actions sometimes, but I feel some of their actions were pleasantly surprising. The pacing of the film is fine, directing is brilliant. I think Del Toro is, he has some fantastic camera angles. We look at the special effects, they're really good. So if we look at the whole package, visually it's great, development is fine, story is fine. So where is the problem? There is too much going on. It's like it's trying, as far as I perceive it, it's like it's trying to pluck at loads of different aspects and make them all work to make a kind of super film. Now it is only a 15, so I didn't really find it scary. I don't know if it's meant to be scary. I mean, it kind of sounded like it was going to be, which is why I was really interested. And we do have some interesting images. The ghost-like creature is quite detailed. The use of the red clay that the house is built on is very blood-like, and it's very effective. But we have so many different things. You know, we have the mistrusted characters, that characters we feel like we should trust but then can't. That's one main point. We have the whole almost haunted house aspect, which in itself could be a strong enough focal point, but it's just an extra. Then we do have the use of the blood images, which again works very well as far as I'm concerned, because that's what I like to focus on. But again, it's just one more thing to make it a kind of super film. And then we have ghosts crossed with obviously the metaphorical aspect, and I just think there's so much going on, so much being thrown at us, that I personally felt it was too busy. In a way, it's almost like it's a parody, which it's not as far as I'm aware, but it's like, here's a horror convention, here's a horror convention, this is part of a ghost story, every ghost story has this element, and it's whacking them together. But it is completely worth sitting through it. The ending is really good though. I was very pleasantly surprised with the ending. Wasikowska and Tom Hiddleston are fantastic in it, and I think the acting is brilliant, which kind of helps carry you through the story a bit. So as you can see from my thoughts, I'm very conflicted, because on the one hand I did kind of enjoy it. There were elements that I liked, but I think what was being forced at us was being dragged down a little bit too much. There was too many different elements going on there. If we kind of strip back some of them, it's fine. It's just not as good as what I thought, and I've read a lot of mixed reviews as well, so it seems I'm not the only one who is a bit confused with how they should be feeling. If you have seen Crimson Peak, do let me know what you think. As I said, I know people who loved it, I know people who really thought it was rubbish. I'm somewhere in the middle, more towards liking it, but I can see the negative aspects. Let me know what you think, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye!